In a parallel Earth, humans are creating robots with super smart AI known as simulants, or simply Sims. These bots become a regular part of our daily lives. To make them even more human, folks willingly offer their faces for scanning and replicating on these robots. Before long, Sims aren't just doing jobs. There are pals, athletes, and even part of law enforcement. In the year 2055, something terrible happened. A big bomb, a nuclear one, exploded in Los Angeles. It was because of a fake world created by the government called a sim. Almost 1 million people got burned up. The countries in the Western world got really mad about it. They decided to stop using AI, like the computer brains, because they thought it caused the problem. But not everyone agreed. New Asia, a place far away, still liked the Sims. They treated them like normal people, even though others wanted to destroy them. The United States, where the bomb happened, started a big mission to get rid of all the Sims. They kept attacking New Asia to make it happen. Their best weapon was a huge space station called the Nomad. It could look at the ground and find where the Sims were, then get rid of them really fast. The Army's main goal was to find a person named Nirmata. This person was the leader and scientist who made the AI stuff. 10 years later, some American soldiers came to New Asia. The Nomad was in the sky checking everything. There was a guy named Joshua living there with his pregnant wife Maya. She had a special tattoo. Suddenly, they heard a noise. Joshua put on his robot arms and went to see what was happening. Some guards, led by a guy named Harun, had an American soldier named Drew. They found him sneaking around. They wanted Drew to talk, but he didn't say anything. The Nomad was getting closer. Harun's group decided it was time to leave and find a new hiding place. Joshua scolded Drew for not talking and found out that Drew was also an American soldier. He married Maya because she was Nirmata's daughter. As the Sim soldiers met with the American ones, there was a big fight outside. Joshua took Drew's radio and asked the commander to stop the attack because Nirmata wasn't there. Maya heard this and got really upset. She pointed a gun at Joshua, but soldiers took him away. Maya ran away and joined the Sims on the boats, but the Nomad launched a missile that killed them all. 5 years later, Joshua was back in the USA. He was trying to live a normal life. He took a lot of medicine for his problems and talked to a therapist. The therapist used a lie detector to make sure Joshua was honest. Joshua had a job cleaning up a place called Ground Zero. One day, he found a robot that came to life. It scared his co-worker, but Joshua turned it off. He reminded his friend that robots don't have feelings. They took all the robots to be destroyed. Later at home, Joshua watched videos of Maya. He remembered when she made his robot arms. He lost them when the bomb went off, and he lost his whole family that day. After swimming, General Andrews and Colonel Howell asked Joshua for help. They heard Nirmata was making a super weapon that could destroy the Nomad, and they needed Joshua's help to stop it. In the USA, things were bad. There was a war, and the country was going to lose if they didn't do something. Joshua was the only one who knew about a secret lab where a superweapon was being made. They needed to destroy it to win the war. They asked Joshua to help because he knew the lab's layout. At first, Joshua said no. He was mad because they messed up his mission and killed his wife. But then, Colonel Howell showed him a video. It was a holographic one that proved Maya, Joshua's wife, was alive and working on the superweapon. Joshua changed his mind. In the middle of the night, Joshua joined Howell's team, and they flew to New Asia. The Nomad scanned the area, and the team landed in a field. Joshua led them towards the lab, but they found a village on top of it. The soldiers decided to invade, and they scared the locals, making them kneel at gunpoint. One soldier, McBride, threatened to hurt a child's dog, and the little girl pointed to an altar. Joshua figured out that twisting a totem revealed the entrance to the lab. McBride and another soldier stayed outside as guards. The rest of the team entered the lab, shooting down technicians. Joshua checked security cameras and saw Maya should be there too. The team kept going, shooting more scientists. But this time, the workers locked the doors. Joshua explained they needed facial recognition to open them. One soldier grabbed a knife and took the face of a dead technician. Meanwhile, Bradbury, another team member, saw the police coming. She shot some missiles before pretending to surrender. The cops tried to arrest her, but more arrived, and they started shooting at her. The team continued into the lab, finding a vault that needed hacking. Joshua and Shipley worked on it while the others fought guards. They started losing men, and Shipley rushed to help. Finally, the vault opened, and Joshua went inside. To his surprise, he found a kid watching TV on a couch. The child was a sim, something new. A scientist appeared, shot Joshua, and opened an emergency exit for the kid, telling her to find Nirmata. The kid saw the outside world for the first time, but also witnessed fighting in the field. Joshua followed her, looking for Maya among the running scientists, but couldn't find her. The team had to go back to the plane, admitting they lost the fight and needed to leave before Nomad attacked. However, Howell needed to check something before they left. Bradbury tried to return to the plane, but something hit her back. She made it on board just before it took off, only to discover a bomb attached to her. It exploded in the air, causing the plane to crash. Joshua got knocked out just before Nomad bombed the area. The next morning, Joshua woke up on a boat and saw a robot girl staring at him. He threw a rock to make her leave, but she threw it back. Joshua found a wounded Shipley and took him to an empty home to avoid the cops searching the area. The kid followed them and started watching TV. Joshua turned it off, but the kid turned it back on with a hand gesture, revealing she was the super weapon. Joshua's communicator rang, and it was Howell. A farmer sim nearby heard it, and Joshua told Howell about the kid. Howell ordered him to kill her, but their conversation was cut off as Howell got surrounded by cops and arrested. Joshua hesitated to shoot the child, especially when he saw her drawing Maya's tattoo. They were found by a farmer sim, and Joshua shot first, killing the farmer but alerting the cops. Joshua asked the girl, now named Alfie, where to find Maya. The cops surrounded them, and Joshua dragged Shipley and Alfie into a farmer's truck. The police threw a grenade, but a dog grabbed it and took it back outside, blowing up the cops. Alfie activated the truck with her power, and they escaped. Meanwhile, McBride and Howell killed Boy and took over a van to find Joshua. Shipley, badly wounded, died in the truck. Joshua noticed a car approaching, hit Alfie's head, and called her Alfie. He approached the driver with his gun, demanding a ride to the city. Later, McBride and Howell found the abandoned car in Shipley's body. Howell transferred Shipley's consciousness into Boy's sim body briefly, but it didn't work well. In the evening, at a checkpoint, Joshua hid in the back of the car, but a cop saw Alfie and asked her to take off her hat. Alfie used her power to create a blackout in the area. Then she distracted everyone with sparks on a sign and activated the car again, driving successfully into the city to escape the cops. Howell and McBride learned about their escape on the police frequency. Meanwhile, an officer with Boy's face found the bodies by the road. In the city, Joshua tried to ask Alfie where Diane Dung was, but she wouldn't answer. The cops showed up, so Joshua took Alfie into a train to escape. Joshua saw other women who looked like Maya, but they were just Sims wearing her donated face. During the trip, Alfie asked many deep questions. Joshua explained his belief that good people go to heaven, but he didn't think he was good enough, and Alfie thought she couldn't go because she wasn't a person. While Joshua slept, he remembered the day Drew gave him the mission to marry Maya and gave him a wedding ring with a special tracker. In the evening, they left the train, and their wanted posters were all over the city screens. A citizen noticed them and called the police. Joshua took Alfie to a sim factory to see his friend, who turned out to be Drew. Drew changed his mind after the attack and was now pro-AI, dating a sim named Kami. Joshua asked Drew to get Maya's location from Alfie, but she was heavily encrypted. Drew suggested tracking down Maya's ring, claiming she was dead, but Joshua refused to believe it. While Kami distracted Alfie, Drew revealed that she could grow and control technology remotely in the future. Alfie sensed someone coming for her, but it was just a food delivery. The delivery guy turned out to be the other buoy, and he activated a bomb inside the food box that killed Kami. Cops arrived trying to get Alfie, but Joshua fought them off. Two cops, revealed to be Howell and McBride, entered the building as Joshua escaped with Alfie and a grieving Drew. Later, Drew's computer tracked the ring to Joshua's old home. They arrived at Joshua's old home, and he rushed in, hoping to find Maya's ring. He discovered it on the flooded floor and watched the security recording of the attack. Alfie warned him that soldiers were coming, and Joshua, in frustration, snapped at her. Seeing Alfie crying made him realize she was more than just a machine. So he hugged her and apologized. Drew came in to warn them about the attack, but got shot down before revealing a shocking truth. Maya was Nirmata, the leader behind the AI advancements. Joshua tried to escape with Alfie, but they were surrounded by Sim soldiers led by Haroon. Joshua got knocked out, and he dreamt of the time he met Maya at a bar and heard her story. Her father, the original Nirmata, taught her about AI, and she was raised by simulants after he had to flee during the war. In the morning, Joshua woke up in a cell on a ship. Haroon explained more. Maya became the new Nirmata after her father died, and created Alfie to stop Nomad. The nuclear bombing in LA was a human error, blamed on machines. The Sims wanted peace, not revenge. Haroon thought of killing Joshua, but Nomad attacked their base. Joshua convinced Alfie to help him escape, and he jumped into the sea while the soldiers shot into the water. The boat left, unaware that Joshua was hiding underneath. In the city, Joshua observed Sims and humans living peacefully. Even fallen robots were mourned, and a Sim teacher taught kids about coexistence. In the evening, Joshua waited for Haroon to sleep and put him on standby. He tried to escape on a boat with Alfie, but an alarm announced the arrival of the Americans. Tanks destroyed buildings and shot missiles. Alfie left Joshua, wanting to help her people. Death and destruction engulfed the area, with both sides losing many soldiers. Howell sent a basic robot through the bridge and it exploded, killing more soldiers. Howell sent a second walking bomb, but Alfie stopped it with her powers. Unfortunately, McBride appeared and shot Alfie down. Joshua, furious, attacked McBride, but with Alfie unconscious, the bomb activated again. Joshua ran with the kid before the bridge got destroyed. Haroon agreed to take Joshua to see Nirmata to fix Alfie, while the others continued fighting. Not far away, Howell rebuilt Kami to get information, then killed her again. During the trip, Haroon revealed that Maya finished Alfie a few days before the attack. Alfie was a copy of Joshua's dead baby, made from a scan of Maya's embryo. Eventually, Alfie was taken to a special temple and Joshua asked if it was Diandang. The monk explained that it meant heaven, signifying Maya's death. A devastated Joshua entered the temple and found Alfie resting next to Maya's body, connected to a machine. Another monk explained that Maya had been like that for 5 years. Not really alive, but kept functioning by the machine. Joshua, as the Sims weren't allowed to harm Nirmata, had to disconnect her. Tearfully, he apologized and turned off the machine. The Americans arrived, killing Sims in the area. Howell entered the temple holding Joshua at gunpoint and began downloading Maya's consciousness into a chip. Haroon shot Howell, leading 2 other soldiers to shoot him. Alfie activated a bomb on Howell's back, killing her and the soldiers. Haroon stood up, urging Joshua to destroy Nomad. Joshua left with Alfie and Maya's chip, but was immediately found by the Americans, who separated them and took them away while Nomad blew up the area. In the LA base, Andrews ordered Joshua to kill Alfie, since they couldn't get information from her. Joshua approached Alfie, whispering something to her that made her go off. Seeing her vitals drop, Andrews assumed she was dead. Later, Joshua took Alfie to the incinerator, but on their way, Alfie revealed she was fine. Joshua had just put her on standby mode. Alfie used her powers to crash the vehicle, blocking the road and giving Joshua the chance to take her out and escape. Duo rushes to the spaceport, and Alfie uses her powers to make the boarding machine let them pass. As they escape on a plane, Andrews orders the pilot to fly back, but Alfie guides the plane toward Nomad. After civilians exit the plane, guards come inside. But Joshua opens the door, creating a vacuum and ejecting the guards into the sky. Joshua prepares an explosive as Andrews plans a massive attack on all Sim bases. Seeing the missiles ready, Joshua gives Maya's chip to Alfie and tells her to stop the attack while he installs the explosive. Alfie rushes through corridors, reaching the right room just in time to stop all the missiles using her powers. While Joshua installs the bomb, Alfie takes a wrong turn and finds a room with sleeping Sims, including one resembling Maya. She takes her out, installs the chip, but it doesn't work. Some missiles fall, destroying robot villages. Joshua's suit is low on oxygen, but Alfie shows up, takes him to a room with air, and prepares the escape pod. Andrews releases a giant octopus-like robot that captures Alfie. Joshua shuts down the escape pod, freeing Alfie from the robot's tentacles. As Andrews plans another attack, the robot captures Joshua, but Alfie makes it drop him, before causing it to fall. The pod's door is damaged, and as the duo struggles with it, the bomb finally explodes. Nomad starts to explode, canceling the attacks, and the missiles land harmlessly. With little time, Joshua tells Alfie he'll meet her in heaven before releasing the pod. Joshua waits for the end outside the room, only to find the Maya sim working. The lovers run toward each other, sharing a kiss before the explosion kills them. Alfie's pod safely lands on Earth, and she joins the celebration of the simulants, finally free. What do you think about the AI in your future imagination? How powerful do you think AI can become in the future? Let me know in the comment box. Make sure you can subscribe to this channel like these types of fantastic videos.